So last night, after I came home from the office, I just had this sense that God was calling me to go away and be still with him. And God said, but I just had this sense that God was calling me to go away and be still with him. And wasn't sure what to expect, wasn't sure what he was going to do, just knew that I was supposed to go away. So I hopped in the bathtub like you do when you have kids. And it was like I've been praying and pressing and meditating on like digging the old wells, and have had this thing stirring lately about the renewal that was poured out in the area in the 70s. And like the thing that broke through in the region in Wisconsin in the 70s, that was the foundation for a lot of the things that we walk in today, that was actually birthed in the Catholic Church, that was actually birthed in this charismatic move happening that went between denominations and this whole thing. So I'm just sitting in the bathtub like praying about this, and I saw the state of Wisconsin. And it was laid out flat, almost like you would see a map, but it was just the state of Wisconsin. And I saw flowers growing up out of the state of Wisconsin. And I'm trying to figure it out as it's going. So I'm going, Wisconsin's going to bloom. Like, it has to be something about revival. Like, I don't know exactly what this is. And it was like, as it kept happening, it's like he made it clear to me that these flowers are representative of that outpouring in the 70s. And it was like the flowers came up and they bloomed, and then they dried out and they were standing dried. And I was going, God, what are you doing? And it was like at that moment, the Lord came and he was gathering up these flowers in bundles, like these dried up flowers, like grabbing them out of the ground, pulling them up, roots and all, out of the ground. And as he was doing that, it was like it zoomed in on one of the flowers, and I could tell so clearly that like the blossom on the flower was representative of worship, and that the leaves on the flower were representative of the prophetic, and that the roots were representative of intercession. And it penetrated me, because I was going, okay, God, what are you doing? Why are you pulling these things out if that's what they represent? And it was like in the vision there was this huge censer, a huge incense spreader, and he packed all the flowers into this incense spreader, and smoke started going out from it, and it covered the state. And then it covered the lake. It covered all of Lake Michigan. And then it was like in an instant I was transported, and I was standing at the harbor in Kewanee and watching ships, like these huge commercial fishing ships, go out and out and out and out and out and out, like evangelists going out for the catch. They were going out and they were going out and they were going out, and the smoke was still hanging in the air, and they were going out and going out. And then I saw trucks coming from the other states, and it was like Minnesota and Illinois and Michigan were sending their people. And I was going, so God, why would they come here to be part of our harvest? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And I heard God say, they're not coming for the catch. They're coming to catch what I'm doing so that they can bring it home. And it doesn't end there. Don't clap yet. And then it was like I was back to the beginning, and I was seeing the state covered in smoke again. And I saw this wind rising up out of the east. And I grew up on a fishing boat. I know that an east wind on Lake Michigan is good for swimming, but it's not good for fishing. And I went, so this is where it ends. So this is where the move of God is stifled. This wind is the resistance to the move of God. And when the wind hit the smoke, it was like the smoke was stronger than the wind, and it diverted the resistance. The resistance went up and over instead of pushing the smoke out. And as the resistance intensified, the smoke started creeping into Iowa and into Minnesota and into Illinois and into Michigan, and it started creeping into the region. And there is a thing that God is doing in the land, that he has started to do in the land, that we will get the opportunity to partner with and be a part of. God is calling evangelists. God is calling the prophetic. God is calling intercession. God is calling worship to be a part of this revival that he is pouring out in the land. So King Jesus, we just say yes. We just say yes. We just say yes. We just say yes, not just to digging the old wells, God, just not just to honoring what you did in the past, God, but we say yes to the new thing that you're doing today. God, we thank you for the forerunners. We thank you for those that went before, God, but we thank you that you're doing a new thing and that you are calling this generation to be a part of it. God, we say yes to your Spirit poured out in Wisconsin. God, we say yes to your Spirit poured out in the Midwest. God, we say yes to the harvest. We say yes to the harvest, God. We say yes to the harvest, God. Would you move? God, would you move your people? Oh.